The Cleveland Cavaliers haven't quite gotten off to the start that we had all hoped for prior to the 2023-24 season beginning, but they are still trending upwards, and with that in mind, here are 7 quick stats to take note of from this still very young season. Number 1, 73. The Cavs have been through the ringer this season. From starting this season off without the likes of big man Jarrett Allen and off-season acquisition Jerome missing all but 2 games this season, to Isaac Okoro missing time due to left knee soreness, and the Cavs backcourt all experiencing hamstring issues at various times, the injury bug has bitten the Cavaliers and has refused to let go. The cherry was then placed on top of the proverbial sundae of soreness when Darius Garland, who suffered a broken jaw at the hands of the Celtics' Kristaps Porzingis, was ruled out for 4 weeks, and then Evan Mobley upped the ante with a 6 to 8 week sabbatical, courtesy of arthroscopic knee surgery to repair a loose body in his left knee. This has culminated in the Cavaliers as a whole being the victim of a whopping 73 games missed due to injury. That's the 10th most in the NBA as of recording this. This is by no means an excuse. It does, however, provide some context to the team's 15-12 start to the season. As the team tries its best to navigate the loss of Garland and Mobley, it'll be really interesting to see how head coach JB Bickerstaff uses the rest of the roster and their individual skill sets. And speaking of this, let's head to number 2. Number 2, 13. Donovan Mitchell, a player who is widely regarded as one of the best scorers in the NBA at the moment, has always garnered praise for doing just that, scoring the basketball. What he hasn't always received praise for, however, is his ability to make plays for others. Mitchell is by no means an elite playmaker, but he is much better than given credit for in this regard. I knew that the addition of players like Max Strus and Georges Niang would likely provide a nice little boost to his assist numbers, and to be fair, they have. He is now averaging a career-high 5.5 helpers per game. In fact, 27 of Donovan's 121 total assists have gone to Strus. That's literally 22.1% of them. He is more than capable of orchestrating the offense, as we've gotten more than a few indicators of that since Cleveland brought him in. With one of the latest occurring in one of the team's most recent victories, a wire-to-wire victory over the Atlanta Hawks, in which Spida doled out a career-best 13 assists, and man, oh man, were some of these a sight to see.
Basketball, which is very controlled, very smart. Mitchell Euro steps inside, gets his own rebound, takes a dribble, shovels to Allen, and Allen does the rest.
Donovan Mitchell is.
Here's Allen, meanwhile. Puts it on the floor. Okoro comes and gets it. The Cavs want to keep up the intensity here early in this third quarter as Mitchell finds a wide open Okoro.
Yes, very nice.
The glass, Allen had that poked away. Screws back to Mitchell. Mitchell worked on Young. What a pass. He had Young leaning back. Young almost fell down.
With Darius Garland out, the Cavs started Mitchell at point guard, a place where he's actually spent roughly 51% of his minutes this season, according to Cleaning the Glass, and he appeared to take the challenge of running the offense very seriously, trusting his teammates, putting them in the right position, and moving the ball with a purpose with nearly each and every possession. This might be the new norm for him, as he is being tasked with making up for some of what has been lost in the absence of Garland, and if it does continue to be the norm, the Cavs could navigate these recent injuries and put themselves in position for a midseason run. Number 3, 70. That's the number of catch-and-shoot triples new Cavalier Max Strus has knocked down this season. No one on the team knocked down more than 95 last year. Care to guess who? Why, none other than former Cavalier Cedi Osman, who the Cavs actually traded to get Strus. The Cavs have over 55 games left, and he is just 26 shy of passing Osman's number from a year ago. That's pretty telling. They are lagging behind in three-point shooting as a whole this season compared to where they were last year, which is evidenced by them ranking 23rd in the NBA in three-point percentage at 34% and 23rd in overall three-pointers made through 27 games. They were ranked 8th and 16th respectively through 27 last year, but they are still generating some very good looks when they move the ball and move without it. Max Strus is a huge reason why they aren't occupying a lower spot in the categories mentioned above. He has been that vital and is opening the floor up in ways that just weren't possible last year due to the gravity that he has drawn. He's currently converting on a higher amount of triples than he did last year and has found ways to endear himself to the fan base that I didn't think would be the case, like his apparent affinity for wanting to put opponents on posters.
Mobley got his hands on it, tried to save it, does. Strus to the basket! Oh my goodness!
his leg, all arms and legs going different direction. Hands off to Strus. Oh, he noses right to the rim with a right-hand jam and a foul call.
Number 4, 5. That's the number of games in which Jarrett Allen has attempted 10 or more field goals. The Cavs are 4-1 in games where that happens. Now obviously, it would be a lazy take to suggest that the Cavs should make more of an attempt to get Allen more shot attempts, because rarely are things that simple. But they do need to figure out a way to get him more involved from game to game, and not just when a key player is missing. The big man needs to be fed, especially when a mismatch has been identified. When Jarrett Allen is rolling, chances are the Cavs are as well. Number 5, 44.7%. Ladies and gentlemen, we may have a 3-point assassin on our hands, and he may just be getting started. Sam Merrill, a late season addition during the 2022-23 campaign, never really got a chance to show just how good of a marksman that he could be due to coming in so late. The Cavs will go on to sign Merrill to a multi-season deal, but after the off-season acquisition of Max Strus, Merrill's chances of seeing real rotation minutes look to be on life support. Well, one of the pros of facing the amount of injuries that the team has been the opportunity to get Sam out there, and he hasn't really disappointed. It's a limited sample size, but Sam Merrill is shooting 44.7% from 3-point distance. After the Cavs' most recent game against the Houston Rockets, Merrill has knocked down exactly 21 triples across 14 appearances for this Cavs team that desperately needs its shooters to get back on track. It remains to be seen whether or not he will be included in the everyday rotation once the Cavs get both Evan Mobley and Darius Garland back, but if he continues to destroy nets with his quick release, he may prove too much to deny minutes. Number 6, 11.6. When former 5th overall pick Isaac Okoro starts, he is averaging 11.6 points while completing 51.8% of his field goals, including 45% of his triples. Ice has the skills to be quite the devastating slasher, and when he plays confidently, he is capable of knocking down the 3-ball. He is also an underrated facilitator. Because he plays alongside Darius, Garland, and Donovan Mitchell, and throw in Caris, LeVert, and Craig Porter Jr. now, Okoro rarely gets the opportunity to orchestrate the offense. But when he does, he has often shown that he sees the floor very well and can put his guys in good position. The Cavs' most recent victory over the Houston Rockets perfectly encapsulated this, as Okoro was afforded more than a few opportunities to create, and he did.
Sengun now has 19 checks that make it 21 points as Strus gets himself open. He lays it in. Once again, Sengun had to be careful there. He's playing with those 5 fouls.
Okoro's days as a starter may be limited to injury replacement or strictly for matchup purposes, but he has shown time and time again that when afforded the opportunity, he will likely reward your belief in him. Last but not least, number 7, 22.2. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a number that many people may moan and groan about. To be more specific, Dean Wade has played 22.2 minutes per game over his last 6 games, and he's earned it. Wade is a player who does a lot of the little things that go underappreciated by the average fan, whether it's generating an extra possession due to an offensive rebound,
Mitchell on Eason. Wade gets there again. Good anticipation.
taking on a tough defensive assignment, and succeeding.
Very stuck in the corner. As well, Van Vliet works on Dean Wade. Down the lane, Wade recovers with the rejection.
Or simply knocking down the timely 3-point shot. The K-State product never truly seems to garner the level of respect that he deserves. He's typically always hustling, even when his shot isn't falling, and will do his best to provide you with value in as many categories as possible. Over these last 6 games, Wade has drawn the start in place of an injured Evan Mobley, and in those games he's done a little bit of everything on his way to averages of 9.2 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.3 steals, while completing over 50% of his total field goals, including a very solid 42.9% from 3-point distance. He's sort of a tweener in the idea that he can reliably give you minutes at both the 3 and 4, and on a Cavaliers team that is lacking in size in certain areas, that's an important thing to have. Go Cavs!